Hello everyone, this is Turner Burner here with another video for you guys. I am going to go over a video I just watched a couple hours ago, like shortly after it was released, because I was very impressed with it. It is done by Great Defensor. It is Demolitions on the choke. What makes this solo so impressive is, as far as explosives are concerned, there really aren't that many. And the fact that Demolitions has a slow alt charge, it makes it difficult to actually even make this class relevant in general. So what you'll see is some strategies that I'll compare what I would have done in a similar situation. But again, this is actually still I'd never even considered, because before the safe room there's only torque bow, and then after you might get a drop shot, which the drop shots, well actually no, you always get a drop shot sign after the safe room, depending on when you get that sign. But anywho, long story short, let's get into the video. And very good work by Great Defensor. Just figured I'd get that out there first. Alright, so in the beginning of the choke, you can get either, it varies. You could get either a bunch of juvies, which with this class might be an automatic restart. You can get grenadiers that are very aggressive, you know, hunters, it depends. Something you should know about the spawn is that if you get, as an example, if you get, how do I say this, a sniper early on in those in the early interactions, that means you're going to get mulcher scions, or at least one mulcher scion amongst the enemy landscape before the safe room. If you get hunters in the beginning, that means you're going to get ice scions instead. So Great Defensor gets a sniper early, so that means he's going to have to deal with at least one mulcher scion. So you'll see that here. So, as everyone should know at this point, but you know, for people that are new to the channel or for some reason just bought this game yesterday, if you aim down your sights, get up on an enemy, then hit X, you meat shield. They haven't changed that mechanic, so you aim down your sights, hit X, you know, that easy. Oh, it looks like I just got invited to a game. But when you go up top, you know, and this is something I disagree with, you know, I hate to nitpick, but that's what the point of this video is. So, if you have two drone-like enemies below, that means you're going to have two up top. Sometimes it's two snipers, or two hunters, or a drone sniper, or two drones, which is probably the hardest combination to deal with, depending on the class. But the gist of what I'm getting at is, there's a sniper and a drone, when you're attacking these two enemies. The first enemy, if you're unable to sneak up on both those enemies, the first enemy you actually want to attack is the drone. It's really only on Ice Queen to where the snipers do these, you know, no scopes across map. On the choke, they're relatively fair. So if he were to rush, and I don't know why this drone's not alerted, but the fact that he went after the sniper, I was actually surprised the drone didn't just one burst kill him. But you know, all's well that ends well. But anyway, if you're in a situation to where you're a low health enemy or or a low health character, and you don't have that much resistance, you really should go after the drone first, because what will happen is you'll rush the drone, and then the sniper will backpedal. And then you'll have plenty of time to get the sniper very easily. So, not sure what's going on here. Probably some, you know, typical gear stuff. So, anyway, and another thing is the thing with the choke. Actually, I'll go into Demolitions first. The thing with Demolitions is most of the, you know, overall escape classes, he's only useful in conjunction with Tactician. So, the fact that Great Defensor is able to pull this off makes it even that much more impressive. So depending on RNG, you can get Grenadiers, Snipers, Hunters, it just depends. So the choke has, I feel like, a bunch of different RNGs, so you just kind of have to experience it for yourself. Alright, so when an enemy is a regular, a non-elite enemy, and they hop over cover like that, do exactly what he just did, but you run the risk of getting shot as they hop over because of the quality of this game. Sometimes what will happen is you'll get, since there's freezing grenadiers in this map and also the mist, an enemy can hop over a barrier and still shoot you, which will cause you to, at that range, die. So you're not always that fortunate to get, the combo off. So just be aware of that. If it's an elite grenadier, you don't want to do that because once you hit your first punch, it's going to punch you right back immediately. Most classes can't survive that encounter. If it's an elite enemy, like an elite drone or elite hunter, elite sniper, you're probably going to get punched back. So just keep that in mind. So he's going to do it. 2 grenadiers right now. He's going to let this one shoot off his friend, and then he's going to triple combo. So, and I don't know how they didn't kill him there, but since in this game you can get screwed over when certain mechanics share the same button, so which almost happened there. So right now he goes on the other side to pick up ammo and also kill some enemies. At least I think that's what he does now. To kill some enemies, which I think one of the main goals is to get ult charge. Also there is overkill in the other room, which is good for juvie kills. So anyway. So what he does here is try to get the 2 snipers that spawn off the bat. Sometimes it's 2 hunters. It just depends on the RNG you get in the beginning. So be very careful of juvies because these are poison juvies on this map, and they can jump from very far away. You see that? The juvie hopped on top of the barrier then jumped. So you just gotta be careful because the coalition has never made juvie interactions fair. So since they're not fair, you just gotta be, very, very cautious and always back away when you're dealing with them, unless you're a melee character. Alright, so since he got a sniper in the beginning, on this side, if I remember correctly, should be Buzzkill. Yeah, it should be Buzzkill. So if you get a sniper in the beginning, that means you're going to get a Bastion, Buzzkill Scion, plus I think it's 3 Grenadiers. If it's Hunters in the beginning, you get Ice Scion. So that's just the little I know about RNG because the choke has a lot of options for RNG. I remember that from score runs. So I would have just headshot. It's not a big deal because it works out, obviously, but I'd have probably just, see how frozen he got? I'd have just headshot the Grenadier, especially when the Scion's going to come. And Grenadiers can't really be trusted. So Buzzkill Scion's one of the more, or probably the easiest Scion to deal with because it does stuff like that. Just stops for no reason. It's not aggressive, so he has time to get his active and get some shots off and then eventually kill it. So he almost died there. I probably wouldn't have approached it that way. I probably would have stayed on the cover and sniped him, but there's different strategies. There's no one size fits all. So anywho. So there should be one more. Yeah, there it is. One more Grenadier to kill. Using the Buzzkill is ideal because you can keep your Nasher ammo, you can keep your pistol ammo, and you can keep your sniper ammo. So, in this room, you get the Torque Bow, which he utilizes, which will be useful for the bleed. And also, you can get 2 flashes in this room. So, I believe he has grenade or whatever it's called for demolitions. He has grenade capacity on, so. At max level, he can hold up to 8 grenades, depending on what it is. Oh, correction, you can get 3 flashes in this room. And you can also get flashes in the other room, and you can only get more flashes after the safe room as well. So, because there's no elite grenadiers in this act. Always, if you're a character that's not based off of Venom, like a tactician would be maybe, or even a Lonnie, obviously. Blade Master, then pull the fan because I've never seen it happen, but I believe you still can die in Venom in the choke, but I've never seen it happen. you'd have to be pretty bad to die in Venom on the choke, because the Venom is extremely weak. But anyway, so picking, and this is something that might be required. You might have to, as far as RNG is concerned, you might have to pick the one that's going to have more snipers, which is, you know, if one of those first 4 enemies is a sniper, you're going to have more sniper ammo to deal with. 1 active torque bow should kill the Bastion, and then 3 active shots will kill the Mulcher. But he decides to conserve ammo and use pistol, which is good idea. You can you know, keep your sniper ammo. So he the reason I was actually surprised he decided to use his torque bow here, but the only reason he would use his torque bow here if he has no intention on using torque bow later, because otherwise it's a waste of ammo. So anyway, he gets rid of the snipers with all the torque bow shots. I actually don't remember how much red is in the other room, so I guess it's a no-brainer to get rid of the torque bow ammo for overkill. So again, using heavy weapons as he's going to place it at a spot where he may need to run back to. So using heavy weapons will allow you to save bullets on guns you are holding personally. You don't want to waste ammo if you don't need to. So he's going to pull the fan and in all likelihood get all the sniper ammo. So this is because this map is not really even remotely difficult with 3 people. You know, unless you're not really communicating, then, or you don't have an understanding of the game, then it becomes difficult. But ultimately, it's just not that difficult because the enemies don't come that fast. And I'm trying to figure out how to phrase this. Because the enemies are sectioned off in sections, like you can deal with like 4 enemies and then 4 enemies, it actually kind of simplifies the map a little bit. And then also, when you deal with those enemies that you've killed, you can go to the other side for cover. And the fact that you can back up so far allows you to have more cover, and sometimes you can escape the situation without killing anyone. Or you can trap certain enemies in certain segments. It really just depends on the context, but what makes this map easy is because of that. You're not really dealing with, like, you know, I mean, granted, none of the maps are that hard, but you're not dealing with, outside of when you pull the lever, you're not dealing with an onslaught of enemies at once. So you have time to really take your time on killing each individual enemy. It actually makes for, you know, I don't do them anymore, but it actually makes for interesting score runs when you can kind of like, okay, we're going to wait to get a meat shield or a headshot, or, you know, headshotting a juvie because it's worth more, headshotting a scion, because you have all the time in the world, because not only is the Venom slow, because it's not a modifier, or fast Venom's not a modifier, but you also have Venom fans. So you have a lot of time to, you know, set yourself up, drop a flash here, which you'll see in this video, use shock. So what Great Defensor does is he's very efficient and effective with each encounter, which allows him to be take more time with, you know, having his ideal setup, because, you know, he's Demolitions, but he's holding no frags, no boom shot, no torpo, no drop shot, no salvo. So he's really he made this solo work with weapons that really aren't, you know, supposedly, you know, identify with this class. So that's, again, what makes this solo more impressive. So let's keep it moving, because this is a longer solo. Alright, so he's killed every enemy so far. The only other step, and he has his ultimate, which, you know, you'll see why sometimes people don't even use demo and escape because of what will happen here in a second. Spoiler alert. So he pulls the bridge. Now, something I found interesting right here is he stays at the bridge. He gets some drone kills real fast. I've actually never seen it done this way. The bridge takes about a minute to come down, and you saw that sniper spawn in. He gets a couple of drone kills, which will be important for what he ends up doing later. Then when he hears the juvie swarm coming, he rushes the opposite side. So that's actually a very good idea. For me, I usually just rush the other side regardless, and I either deal with the juvies immediately or afterwards. It just depends on the spawn I get. So, but he just rushed the opposite side of where the juvies were coming from. So that was actually a better idea than what I've done when I've soloed the map. Because that way you can stay down, get those drone kills, and you'll see why that's important later. And this is why you use the overkill. That way it has good range, you can kill juvies fairly easily. So right now, he wants to get rid of the bastions, and his ultimate, because it's Gears 5, it doesn't do anything. If you remember my solo analysis on the split, I tried to kill 2 Sentinels with my ultimate, which it should have, because I have Shredder, level 6, I have level 6 everything, level 6 Shredder, and then I also have level 6 Officer's Prerogative, and it still didn't kill both Sentinels, which it, in a normal situation, it should have. So sometimes, you know, when things don't go a certain way, you get discouraged. Honestly, if the same thing happened to me, I would have instantly restarted the act. But what he does is, you know, takes his time, kills all the enemies, and he makes maneuvers to allow him to get to the safe room, which you'll see here in a second. So he still has plenty of sniper bullets, so that's useful. I believe the bridge just came down. He gets this. He kills the Bastion, and because it's, you know, Gears 5. One Bastion immediately moves to another Scion for some reason, even though another Scion was already covered, but, you know, it is what it is. The buzzkill with, when you're dealing with doorways or entry points, the buzzkill Scion and the drop shot Scion, I don't know exactly what the programming on that is, but they always start acting weird, where they start like stop at the door and start shooting at you from the door, and they don't come in a supply room or a safe room or something like that. When you're trying to, when you actually want them, not safe room, excuse me, a supply room when you're trying to like lock them in, or a doorway when you're trying to lure them in, they'll just stop moving. I don't know what that is, but the Ice Scion and Multisound don't do that. So not sure what the deal is. Just another one of those features I don't care for. So anyway, so this process when you pull the bridge is a long process. You got random drones that are going to come at you. You got random juvies that are going to come at you. So you just have to, when you're solo, keep backing up, you know, until you eventually, you know, find a way to get to the safe room. Typically, you have to find a way to kill everything. But, you know, Defensor feels and proved that he didn't need to kill everything. In a normal situation, that would be what I would expect. So the juvies, you know, if you're not going to kill the juvies at their spawn point, or how that phrase is, it's actually better to have the juvies run far away from their spawn point then they attack you, because for some reason they start to spread out, which is not a bad thing as a non-melee character, due to the fact that you're not getting rushed all at once by 10 juvies. You can kind of isolate them to an extent. Alright, so that Scion has about 2 active snipers to go before it's dead. One of the more frustrating things is when you're trying to snipe a Scion and it hits the wall in front of you, which I think is what happened there. So, anyway, and because he killed those drones, if he didn't kill those drones, he'd be getting hit right now. But because he killed them, he's able to just run through and get to the safe room. And because the choke has very, 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 very weak venom, he's able to be in the venom that long as if he's Blade Master or even Cole, and make it all the way to the safe room. I would have planted a flash at the bridge where I pulled it, but it doesn't matter since it worked out for him. So that's pretty much it for the first act, obviously, because he is here. But with the first act, what I noticed is that, you know, overkill for this type of class, and also for, you know, for me when I think about this in the future, I believe you need that sniper spawn to make it work. If you don't have sniper, I don't think it's gonna work, you know. So otherwise, you just keep that in mind if you try this yourself. If you don't have sniper, it's not gonna work, because you need the sniper ammo, And Sniper is far more powerful than Marxa. If you have the Marxa spawn, the only Sniper you'll get is in that supply room. So, alright, so you must have failed a few times. Again, doesn't matter, like I said before. The result's the same as if it was Iron Man. It's just more efficient. So, ultimately, he's collected enough flashes. I think he has like 4 or 5 right now. So one thing, regardless of the class, you want to get rid of this Bastion quick because it's going to be a nuisance otherwise. So he does that. I'm actually really bad at getting rid of Bastions, unfortunately, but so what he does here is very important. Is what I tell people to do on Ice Queen and in other maps is if you have an Elite Grenadier, that's about 2, and sometimes you get robbed and it's 3 active headshots to the head before it dies. But if you do a flash and grab, you lose absolutely nothing. You get your flashback, you don't use any ammo. So this is actually very smart here. It's very basic detail, but it's very smart to flash and grab as opposed to, use wasting all your ammo on it. He got screwed with the flash there, but it still flashed him on the other side of the cover. I don't know if he remembers that flash that dropped. Okay, he did. Good. Because I saw that when he grabbed the Elite Grenadier. So, unless you're Nomad, in my experience, you really don't have a choice. No matter Blade Master, you really don't have a choice on how to approach this second act. You have to kill every enemy on both sides before pulling the lever or whatever. So, you just got to keep that in mind for when you do this, because it's going to come down to a point where you might want to fall back up the stairs, and you just want to be ready. Like I said before, flash and grab is... I'm surprised they never got rid of it because it's just too... It makes certain encounters far too easy, but, it is what it is. Alright, so he has snipers. He's trying to kill what he can before alerting them, but I'm pretty sure most things are alerted just by walking across the little doorway or little hallway you walked across. Elite drones are in this section. So I believe, if I remember correctly, if you get drones down below when you first slide down from the safe room, if you get drones, then that means you're going to get more regular snipers, and then you're going to get a mulcher in this section. If there were hunters, I believe it's drop shot in this section. So just keep that in mind if you want to try to understand spawn. Alright, so mulcher is easy to kill when it's not mowing you down and it's at a distance. Always try to kill a mulcher at a distance because you're under less pressure than when it's, got an amazing fire rate and damage rate. So, anyway. So he's staying behind cover, killing things before they get alerted. I believe they're all dead. So he actually got really fortunate with the spawns in terms of sniper anima because he's able to kill the sniper and then also pick up, the ammo from the dead enemy. I really don't remember what is all in here. I do remember there being shocks. I believe there's M-bar in here. But I'm almost positive you have to keep this same combination to make this all work. I don't know why I picked up the cog tag, but... Anyway, so when it comes down to if you see different choke solos, you'll see a lot of people pick up shocks. The only reason any of those people will pick up shocks is if they want to, shock the juvie spawn, which oddly enough isn't even that guaranteed. There's been a few times where I was doing score runs and we would expect enemies to spawn at a different area, and they spawned on the opposite end. So keep that in mind for future solos, that even when you know it's coming, it could be different, and I don't know why. So he decided to keep the overkill sniper combination, and my main guess is if you have overkill, you can deal with juvies better than if you have, let's see, if he didn't have the Nasher spawn, but, really any other, weapon. Well, he had Nasher before, so I guess he could have had that, but I like Overkill better because you're going to get Elite Grenadiers in the second act, and you can kill them and keep reloading your gun. So that's why I like overkill more in the second act. So he just rushes up the stairs. Sometimes this works, sometimes it doesn't. It really just depends on what you get. You could get elite grenadiers on the stairs. You get a bunch of juvies, which, you know, if you get a bunch of juvies rushing the stairs, it's not going to work. So, or you can get really annoying, really passive elite drones, which hide behind covers. They don't shoot anything. They reload every 4 bullets. They can be, you know, and you can't rush them because you're trying to, well, you can rush them, but it's ideal to kill them before everything else is alerted. So he almost dies there from an elite drone, which kind of annoyed me, as you, if you can't hear by my voice, but anywho. So he kills a few drones here, and if there's mulch on this side, I believe it's drop on the other side. So, and if it was just another spawn thing, that little drop shot that you see, I'm surprised I didn't kill him because of how this game can be sometimes. But if you slide down after the safe room, if you slide down and you see a hunter, like I said before. So what we got in this spawn is you slide down and there's drones. So when you go up the stairs, not entirely sure all the stair-like enemies, sometimes juvies, sometimes elite grenadiers, it's kind of spreads around differently. But if you get, how do I phrase this? If you get drones right off the bat like he did here, you get a Moltron sound on one side and then a drop shot sound on the other side. If you slide down and you get hunters, you'll get a drop shot where the Molcher won't be in the second act at all, for one. And then you'll get drop shot where you saw the Molcher in this video, and then you're going to get where you see the drop shot in this video, you'll get a buzz kill. So if you're trying to figure out spawns, I'm not sure specifically why, unless you're doing score runs, but if you're trying to figure out spawns, that's something to keep in mind. Like if you absolutely hated Molcher Scions, if you see a drone when you slide down the ramp, you know to restart the game. So Elite Grenadiers have been buffs in this operation for, I guess that's what everyone asked for. Everyone must have complained about Elite Grenadiers being too weak or something, because he's really lighting them up from a pretty far distance. But regardless, you got to stay the course and do a flash and grab. He did shoot off the helmet, but I think he should have just been patient. But again, not a big deal, just minor critique. Obviously, it doesn't matter in the great scheme of things. Something I don't like about this game, if I haven't expressed that already, any other things, when you headshot a drop shot sign with a sniper rifle, the first shot will like stun him and put him off balance, but subsequent shots, you'll do damage, but it won't continue to stun him. I don't care for that. I think every headshot for any Scion, you know, should stun him. Because I don't get the logic in why does the first shot stun, but then subsequent shots don't do anything, you know, or even less of a stun. So I don't get that, but that's just something that's a little minor pet peeve of mine. So like he's headshotting the drop shot Scion, but it's just, you know, casually still about to, you know, shoot him. It can be even more annoying if it's like an Ice Scion or, you know, Molcher, obviously. So anyway, like I said before, Venom's very, very slow. So what he's about to do is set himself up for the incoming battle, which will be when he pulls that lever, or that elevator, excuse me. Another thing I said before, make sure you, well, getting all the ammo is intuitive since you're the only one there, but make sure you don't forget to pull these levers. Sometimes I forget, but, you know, forgetting could cost you the game if you're just not that fast. So we'll see what he does. Alright, so he pulls both levers. One's a 30-second timer, one's a 45-second timer. So at this point, you just, I forget what he does. Okay, he drops the drop shot there. I totally forgot. But yeah, there's a lot of options in this map and a lot of things. The weaker the class or the weaker the character, the more you're going to need, you know? So it's really as simple as that. He is working the overkill and drop shot closer to the elevator. At least that's how I'm understanding it, and based off of his actions, I believe that's what he's going for. He has his ultimate. He has no frags, and he has a lot of flashes. So he has to, the ultimate's great and all, but it doesn't charge that fast. It's not like, Blade Master's ultimate or most other ultimates. So he still has to be fairly careful to make sure that he has as much as possible at the door. So what you saw there is how he was able to work what he felt he needed to the elevator by just dropping it a bunch of times. So anyway, so if you remember the shocks before, I don't want you to get confused or forget, but if you look at the kill feed, the shocks spawn exactly where he anticipated, so he was able to get some juvie kills right off the bat, which will give him more time to deal with the onslaught of enemies. Because ultimately, if the juvies are coming, if all those juvies survive and are coming at him, it makes it much, much harder. One juvie's a problem, let alone 4. So he shoots a pretty good shot. He's fairly economical with his shots and accurate, and he's able to kill things. So there's going to be 2 drop shot scions there as well, and he just has to be careful to not get shot by them. And if he's able to kill them, he can get their guns, but I don't think he's able to necessarily. And because of how he killed those enemies, that's going to be a similar theme to the first act. Because he's able to kill all those drones and elite snipers and all those elite enemies, when he comes back down the slide, he won't have to deal with them when he gets down below. But you'll see that again here in a second. Something he doesn't do, which is something I would have done, is because he has 7 flashes, he has kind of flashes to spare per se. I would have planted a flash right at the with this class specifically, I would have planted a flash right at the elevator. That way, if I'm running from an enemy that's trying to kill me, I can run past my own flash and they'll get flashed behind me. So that's what I would have done. Again, he made it work without doing that, but that's what I would have done in a similar context. So he's killed already a good bit of the remaining enemies, but he still has juvies, elite grenadiers, and also scions to either kill or maneuver from. He wanted to get that flash and grab, but a juvie decided not to, and since the elevator just came down. The elevator always has a minute on this map, so just keep that in mind. But also, he's really not getting that pressed, as far as from the juvies and the scions and the elite grenadiers. He's handled it really well with the shock grenades on the other side. That flash was BS. From the shock grenades on the other side and, also getting those drop shot kills, he's really handled this second act really, really well. And because he killed all the elites that spawn with the scions, he's able to, without anyone really bothering him, he's really able to... Oh, he saved the bullet, which is even smarter. He's able to get all the way to the LZ without, any resistance. There's no elite drones peppering him when he's coming down the slide. There's no M-bar charging. So the way he handled it, really in the both acts are similar. He was able to kill the enemies that spawned at the, the side exit points, which allowed him to use the side exit in advance or down the road to, get to safety ultimately. So anyway. So something that I've actually lost solos for, and it's very minor, so I'm actually going to run that back a little bit. So he doesn't need... There's only a few juvies behind him. It's so minor, but, for people that are really new, I want to mention this. If you see a juvie, or if you hear a juvie that's, on top of you, first of all, juvies, since, I think, Operation 4, they either run as fast as you or faster. It depends on the context, but you're not faster than a juvie, not anymore, unless it gets blocked off by something. So, if you hear a juvie behind you, and if it was Protector, it wouldn't be a big deal, but since he's Demolitions, that stem that he has is not ongoing. So I would recommend for somebody else that's not as good as Defensor, you kill those juvies, the 1 or 2 juvies or even 3 that are right there. That way you have the stem for when you pull the lever. That's what I would have did differently than this, because I've actually lost solos for a similar context where I was pulling the lever, juvie hit me once, and then hit me again, and I'm dead. So why do all that work? And this is back in Iron Man days, so why do all that work just to lose for something, you know, really fairly minor? So just keep that in mind. If this juvie's that close, you got to kill him anyway. So might as well just do it sooner, keep your stem than later. So you lose this stem there, and now he's deal with 2 juvies. Couple more juvies, it looks like. He uses ultimate on the juvies, which is, depending on how many you marked, is a good idea. Really the only option, since you have no reason to keep your ultimate for the pad. And he pushes forward to prevent enemies from coming out. And yet, wow. Look at that. Frozen here. And then he's going to toss all his flashes to stop all the enemies from coming out. And that's pretty much it. So the brilliance lies in how he utilized the elevator pulls. When he pulled down the elevators, he was ideally set up with enough ammo relative to his class. So if you remember in the first act, he pulled the elevator and he killed a few drones and enemies. That way, when he did the side exit, he was able to go down, have no enemies to deal with, and then go to the safe room. Same exact thing with the second act. He got all set up with all of his ammo. He brought overkill down. He brought enough drop shot down. And ultimately, what he did was pull the lever, killed all the elite enemies. I believe he killed every single one of them. He didn't need to kill the Scions because the Scions followed him all the way up the stairs. And then he used the side exit to get away. And then, you know, the rest is history, to where he was able to go all the way outside and then pull the lever. Like I said, minor critique for people that, you know, are in a similar context. If a juvie's on top of you and you're about to pull the lever, kill the juvie. Like I said, you got to kill him anyway. So that's pretty much it, guys. Very good job, Defensor, and I look forward to what you do next. Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching, guys. You guys have a good one. Peace.